So we have our table here with the triangle and the square. Now, our pattern is an increasing value of 180 degrees. So if I have an increasing pattern of 180 degrees, this is part of my equation, that 180 degrees. So every time I increase, I need to be multiplying by 180 degrees. So I need to multiply by 180 degrees because that's how much it's changing every time. If I do a repeated addition, that means I'm going to multiply it by 180. Okay, so repeated addition of 180 means multiply by 180. Now the question is, what am I multiplying times 180? It's a good question. Now in that first triangle, to get 180, the only thing that works is a 1. I'd have to have 1 times 180, and that will give me 180 degrees. That's our triangle. Okay, we're going to repeat this pattern. Now, for the square, I'm still multiplying by 180 degrees, and I know it should equal 360 degrees like it does here. Now, what number can I multiply to get 360? It has to be 2. Okay, let's do one more, and we'll compare these two ideas and see if there's a pattern. Now, again, repeated addition. I'm multiplying by 180 degrees because I'm adding it over and over again. Repeated addition is multiplication, and that should equal 540 degrees. And the only number that I can multiply by 180 to get 540 is 3. Now, I somehow have to make a connection between the number of sides and the number that I'm multiplying. Well, let's take a look. I'll fold this paper over so the numbers can kind of be together. How do I get this 3 and turn it into a 1? How do I get this 4 and turn it into a 2? How do I get this 5 and turn it into a 3? This pattern should continue. Now, the difference between these two numbers is actually as really simple, even though it may not look like it. Okay, to make 3 into a 1, I have to have 3 minus 2, that equals, excuse me, 1. Same thing with that 4. Okay, to make that 4 equal a 2, I have to minus 2. 4 minus 2 equals 2. And then to make that 5 equal 3, I have to minus 2, and I'll get 3. So that is our pattern. My number of sides minus 2. Okay, this idea is 1, this idea is 2, this idea is 3, times 180. Okay, so we're going to write that down. Number of sides minus 2, because I'm subtracting 2 every single time. And I can do that whole thing times 180 degrees. That should give me my angle sum. Angle sum. Now our focus question was, what is the size of each angle given a polygon with n number of sides? So we said n number of sides. So number of sides is my variable. So instead of number of sides, I'm going to replace that with this variable. So our equation should be n minus 2, that is number of sides, those are the same thing, times 180 degrees is equal to our angle sum. Okay, and we did that by establishing a pattern. Okay, we established our pattern of adding 180, 180, 180, 180. Okay, to each one of the shapes as they increased in angles. And then we had to find out what number multiplied, and the pattern was it's always 2 less. So 2 less here. And I made it into n minus 2 times 180 equals angle sum. Now, if I wanted to find the measure of each angle, okay, I use this idea here. Okay, I use this idea. And from my angle sum, I just divided. Remember the 540 divided by 5 and gave me 108? The 720 divided by, we did that one already. The 900 divided by 7. So it's going to be angle sum. So in order to find the measure of an angle, so measure of an angle should be equal to the angle sum divided by number of sides. Okay, in this case it was angle sum 900 divided by 7. In this case it was 1080 divided by 8. Okay, so I'm going to put all these things together.
Come to the front office, please. Chris Lober, come to the front office, please.
Sorry for the interruption. I'm going to put all these ideas together. Okay, so measure of an angle is equal to angle sum. Now, did we already get angle sum? Of course we did. Angle sum divided by number of sides. These two ideas, number of sides and angle sum, we've already come up with those two ideas and they're here. Okay? So instead of number of sides, I'm going to put n instead. So instead of number of sides, I'm going to rewrite this equation as number of sides, we said, was the variable n. Okay? And the angle sum was number of sides minus 2 times 180, or n minus 2 times 180. So angle sum, this is our angle sum. So I'm going to write that in instead of here. So I'm going to have n minus 2 times 180. So angle sum on top, number of sides on the bottom, is equal to the measure of an angle, of a regular polygon. Okay, this is what you need in order to solve your homework today.